What is going on, guys? Money Webby here, back again on Sunday. Got a nice 6-game slate here tonight. I got it broken down for you with 6 of my favorite plays on the slate. My money's 6. So before we get going, if you guys could do me a favor and slap that like button, it really helps me out. Let's try to get over 100 likes in this one. The slate is tipping off a little bit earlier at 6 p.m. here on Sunday, so keep an eye on that. We got some injury news. Big one, Karl-Anthony Towns questionable. Also, we got Anthony Davis questionable again. Those are the two big ones. Wiggins. Also, I'm expecting, currently the one I'm expecting is that Towns is going to be out, as we'll see coming in later on the plays as I recommend someone with him possibly being out. But for my first guy, I'm going to go with Giannis at 11,100. I expect this game to stay fairly close. Whenever Giannis plays a few extra minutes when the games are close, he has really good value and upside. So 79 DraftKings points in their last close game against Utah, and he still only had 32 minutes. When he gets over towards like 35, 38, and stuff like that, we see the huge DraftKings lines. And this is a good game here. Against the Spurs, they don't really match up that well against him. I would say they really don't have anyone that can slow him down. Like currently they have Rudy Gay at the starting power forward, and Rudy Gay just isn't athletic enough to handle a guy like Giannis. He had 74 DraftKings points in the same matchup earlier in the year, and 11,100. Think he can return value and possibly be a guy that kind of breaks the slate if he can have one of those humongous lines that he is capable of. So I'm expecting over 60 DraftKings points, but it has even more upside than that. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my first guy. Then I'm going to go with Trey Young. He has been struggling a little bit recently with his jump shot, but he filled it up last game. Last night had 58 DraftKings points in just 29 minutes. Very impressive there. Got the triple-double. I think that's his the first triple-double of his career, and he didn't even play that well. So I think he can have a better outing here against the Pelicans. Their defense against point guards, Alfred, Peyton. He's a weak defender. They're not playing for much. This game is going to be extremely fast-paced, and I think Trey Young can fill it up yet again here in this matchup. So 8,100. Think he can get over 40 DraftKings points in a really good spot for DraftKings scoring. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my second guy. Then I'm going to go with Mike Conley. This guy's been playing extremely well recently. The two last games, 53 and 55 DraftKings points, and he dropped 40 points in this game against Portland. That's not an easy matchup as well, so that was really impressive. And he's going against an Orlando team that does kind of funnel DraftKings points to the point guard. Their defense down low is really solid with Vucevic, Aaron Gordon, some solid defenders down there. But DJ Augustine, undersized guy, not really known for his defense, more of an offensive point guard. I think Conley can get the better of him as he has the best matchup on the court, and he kind of can carry that load yet again here and be able to score over 25 points and hopefully get those assist numbers that happened there recently. 11 assists last game, 6 and 5, like not crazy amount, but he does have that upside for a 10 or so because he's just so involved in the offense, and they really don't have like the many ball dominant players. Like Avery Bradley, the starting shooting guard, is an off-ball guy, and they have a lot of off-ball kind of players. So at 7,200 here, good usage for Connelly recently, a nice price tag considering his upside recently. I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my third guy. Then I'm going to go with Alfred Payton, another guard here. At 5,800, really good spot against Atlanta. Like I said, a very fast-paced game. Their defense against point guards as well. Trey Young, we know he's not known for his defense. I think Alfred Payton can use his size against him a little bit to get some rebounds. And we know he's a great facilitator with those assist numbers as well. And Drew Holiday still out for this game, so Alfred Payton's going to shoot at the ball a few more times, I would imagine, in this game as well. He had 9 shots, a little bit more than his recent amount. And I think Giannis could go over 10 shots in this game just based on the matchup and if he gets in a scoring rhythm here in this game. So 5,800, his price tag is up a good amount, but he still has that triple-double threat, honestly, any given night. If he can just score a little bit and get a few more rebounds, as we know, we can get the 10-plus assist and even get 10-plus rebounds, as we saw a few games ago against the Lakers. So at 5,800, one of the best matchups of the whole NBA for point guard. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there. He has 40-plus upside, honestly, in that matchup. I'm going to go with Frank Jackson as well. I think one of these guys is almost guaranteed to return value. I think both of them, though, can return value just based on his price tag of 4,200. Started that shooting guard last game for the Pelicans, and he put up 20 shots. So I recommended them this game where he did get 27 DraftKings points. First, because his salary was so cheap, and also with Drew Holiday being out, and also Anthony Davis was actually ruled out later in the day. Just so much of the offensive production was just left for an opportunity for someone else to pick it up. And Frank Jackson, he is a scorer, as we saw last game, 20 points. He just kind of fills that void nicely. And against the Atlanta Hawks, another fast-paced game for him to put some points up and possibly get a few more assists. He hasn't been known for it, but just with the ball handling with him, between him and Alfred Peyton, he could just like back himself into a few more assists in this game. And 4,200, still too cheap here, I think, in this game. I think he can hopefully just get a few more helping us points with, like I said, maybe a few more assists, hopefully a block or a steal, and be able to just get over 25 DraftKings points or so. And he has it upside as he played a ton of minutes last game still at 37 minutes, which is really good to see for a guy at this cheap price. And the matchup, great, like I said, for 100 times. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my fifth guy. Then I'm going to go with Taj Gibson. This is the guy I mentioned earlier with Karl-Anthony Towns likely out. I mean, he had a pretty big scare. He said that he heard like a pop in his knee. He didn't even play in the OT in that game. That was a big game for Minnesota against Washington as they try to fight their way into the playoffs. He didn't play in OT. They had an MRI late last night, and that kind of signals that it's kind of serious enough where they would hold him out of this game against the Knicks. Like, there's no really rush to play him against the Knicks team that they can beat without him, that they showed that just recently. After he got in his car accident, this is actually the one game he didn't play, and they still won by 11 points in the game. And Taj Gibson went off with a double-double, got 41 DraftKings points. So a very similar situation as that game, where Taj Gibson will be able to get some extra run and be able to get that rebound ability with Karl-Anthony Towns being out, as he's such a big rebounding presence down low for them. And if Taj Gibson does draw the start, I would imagine he would. Without Karl-Anthony Towns, and he can really have another big game here at 4,100. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there. He's probably going to be pretty chalky if Towns is out, but at 4,100, that price tag is too good to really turn up, in my opinion, in a good matchup against the Knicks as well. So keep an eye out on the news on Towns. The game does start at 8 p.m. We probably will get word before then on his status and also the status of Anthony Davis, as that will open up some things possibly for Julius Randle if he can get a normal amount of minutes. I'm not sure if they're going to try to not give him as much run because of the whole situation with them kind of maybe trying to tank a little bit more. Diallo is interesting, but his price that did go up to 4,800. Okafor, I'm not honestly, he's questionable as well, and he only played 17 minutes. So yeah, Diallo, he could be a really interesting play at 4,800 if Okafor and Anthony Davis are out. So keep an eye on that news, though. You definitely can follow me on Twitter at MoneyWebby for any updates in the plays, and I'll tweet out my opinions on guys being ruled out or anything like that. If those guys are, maybe I'll just update it, mention Diallo again in one of my tweets. I did tweet out 2 plays yesterday. I actually recommended Towns, who had a really good game. Had 72 DraftKings points in it, and I tweeted out about Alex Len. He's a little bit disappointing because John Collins absolutely gobbled up every rebound somehow. But good luck. I'm done talking. Drop a like in the video if you enjoyed it, over 100 likes, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Continue to get these plays. So good luck here tonight. Hope you guys will win some money, and we'll see you back here again next time.